Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you're having a great day so far. Today is Thursday, so today will be day 4 of packet number 5. So that's what we are on today. So, going to go ahead and just jump right in. If we look at day number 4, for reading, it says reread the goods and services text. So we've read that for the past couple of days, but I'll go ahead and reread it again, and you guys can reread it too. So I'll share my screen so you guys can see it. Buying things. People buy things they need and want. They buy food to eat and clothing to wear. They also spend money to have their teeth cleaned and their hair cut. All of these things are either goods or services. What are goods? Goods are real things that people can touch and use. They can be large, like a house or a car. Goods can also be small. Notebooks, bananas, and soap are some small goods. What are services? A service is work done for other people. A dentist's work fixing teeth is a service. Washing cars, mowing lawns, and cutting hair are other services. Producers. Goods and services are sold by producers. Farmers sell vegetables they grow. Mechanics are producers when they sell the service of fixing cars. Kids are producers when they deliver newspapers or mow lawns. Consumers. A consumer is anyone who buys and uses goods and services. People are consumers when they buy food at the grocery store. Kids are consumers when they buy tickets to the movies. So, those are some examples of goods and services and producers and consumers. So we're going to go back. So it said reread the goods and services text. We just did that. Go ahead and do that on your own. I did it for you, but then I want you to practice on your own as well. For writing, it says answer the comprehension questions for the text, goods and services. So let's go back and see. Those are right here. So those are the page, that's the page right after the goods and services text that we read. So it says goods and services comprehension questions. You may need a grown-up to read this with you. Use the text goods and services to answer the questions. So you're going to use all of these from goods and services. That's this page, and this page to help you answer these questions. So the first one says, is this article fiction or nonfiction? How do you know? So all that information that we read about goods and services, producers and consumers, was that fiction or nonfiction? And how do you know? Think about what that means. What are fiction stories and what is nonfiction? The second question is, how does the picture help you get ready to read the article? So the picture is right here. How does this picture help you to get ready to read the article? Number 3, what does spend mean? Where did you find the meaning of that word? At the end, we have a glossary. So I think that that would be a good spot to find what spend means. What does spend mean? Where did you find the meaning of that word? And then number 4, when you get your hair cut, is that a good or a service? If someone is doing something for you, that is a service. Let's go back. Goods are real things that people can touch and use. They can be large, like a house or car. Goods can also be small. A service is work done for other people. So, think about that. When you get your hair cut, is that a good or a service? So once you've answered those questions, that is all you have for writing today. Then we're going to move on to math. Math today is a bit involved. So first thing you're going to do is your daily calendar talk. So that will be the page that we've been practicing with. should have your May calendar filled in, and you're answering those daily questions. The months of the year, the days of the week, what was yesterday, what's today, and what will tomorrow be. Answering things like, if today is the 14th, what was yesterday? Just so we're familiar with the calendar and able to quickly get information from it. And the more we practice, the more we'll be able to do that. So after you've done your daily calendar talk, what math looks like today, it says answer the following questions about numbers. So today we're really looking at place value and comparing numbers. So it says, what numeral represents no objects in a group? So if we have our tens place and our ones place, and we have nothing in either one, what number is that? That's the first question. Then it says, when I have groups in the tens column, do I have to count each individual piece, or is there a quicker way to count them? So our tens, do we need to count them by ones, or is there a faster way to count our tens? So if it was the number 20, I have how many groups of 10 and how many ones? If I wanted to draw place value blocks to show, remember, in each of these we have 10. I know that's probably not exactly 10, but you know that it is. In those long place value sticks, we have 10. So do I count these by 1, 2? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Or can I count them in a faster way? Think about what it's called. Do we count the numbers in the tens place by ones? Or is there an easier way and a quicker way to do that? Rather than counting each of these 1, 2, 3, each of the little blocks in there, what can I do? Then it says, if I had if I had 43 stickers, how many groups of 10 do you think I could make? Will I have any leftovers? Explain how you know. Remember, when we're looking at the number 43, the 4 is the number in our tens place. Tells us how many groups of tens we have. And remember what we count groups of 10 by. Our 3 is in our ones place. Remember, ones are just our individual blocks. So it's saying, if I had 43 stickers, how many groups of 10 do you think I could make? Will I have any leftovers? Explain how you know. So it's asking you how many groups of 10 are in the number 43, and then how many leftover ones are there. So if you can't make a group of 10 anymore, that's when you start to have your ones. Those are your leftover. Because they can't make it, there's not enough to make a group of 10. So how many groups of 10 are in the number 43? And how many leftover ones are there? And it says, explain how you know. Next question is, remember, you have to answer all of these questions. I'm just kind of going over what they're asking in more detail. The next question is, are 34 and 43 the same? Is 34 the same as 43? Answer that question, then explain why. Which of these numbers is greater? Which is less? How do you know? Remember, we've always said when you're comparing numbers, the first step is to look at the tens place. If one number has a larger amount in the tens place, that number is bigger. If the numbers in the tens place are the same, then you go switch to looking at the ones place. So to figure out which one of these numbers is bigger, you're looking at the tens place first. If one of those is bigger than the other, then you know that number is bigger. So it says which is greater, which is less. How do you know? Create a place value chart showing groups of tens and ones or other representation for 34 and 43. So this is our place value chart. This is a place value chart. You can draw this on a piece of paper where we have our tens and our ones. So what you're going to do, it says showing groups of tens and ones or other representation for 34 and 43. So the numbers you need to show are 34 and 43, and it's asking you to show those with place value blocks. So you can use like this, or a line if that's easier to show a group of 10, and then your ones would just be dots or individual cubes. But you're showing 34 and 43 using the blocks. When we have one cube like this, that represents just one. When I have something like this, there are 10 in a group of 10. So these go in the tens place and the ones go in the ones place. You need to show 34 and 43 using tens and ones. Remember, this is the number in the tens place. This is the number in the ones place. Option, try another number. So after you've shown 34 and 43 with place value blocks, try a different number. Then it says circle the sentence you can use to compare them. So it's asking you which one of these is correct. There's 3. 34 is less than 43. 34 is greater than 43. And 34 is equal to 43. Which one of these is correct? And circle it. Remember, the alligator wants to eat the bigger number. So you're looking in the tens place first. That's our first step. Check the tens place. If one of those numbers is bigger than the other, that's the greater than number. If the tens place are the same, then you go to the ones place. But I don't think we'll have that problem because the numbers in the tens place are not the same. So circle the one that is correct. Alligator eats that bigger number. Next, we have our content activity for today. So it says, remember, a consumer buys or uses goods and services. Explain what you consumed at the location and if it was a good or a service. So think back to yesterday. Yesterday, you listed 4 places that you have been a consumer. So today it's saying, explain what you consumed at the location and if it was a good or a service. So yesterday, think about one of the places where you said you were a consumer. Were you a consumer of a good or a service? A good is it's an object, it's something that you can have. If we go back to our card, it says, goods are real things that people can touch and use. A service is work done for other people. So from the places that you wrote yesterday, choose one of them and explain whether you were a consumer of a good or a service. Then it says, think of 3 different services that you or your family uses. And it gives you some examples, but you can feel free to come up with your own. The examples that are listed are grocery store, gas station, a barber or stylist, a library, a church, a store, and things like that. Come up with your own. Those are examples of services that you use. Draw a picture of you or your family consuming the service. Have them explain how that service helps. So, think of a service that you and your family use. Once you've picked one, you're going to draw a picture of that service and explain how that service helps, how it makes things easier for your family. Can you think of a way to make the service better so more people will want to consume it? So you're going to draw a picture of the service that you and your family use. Under the picture, you're going to explain how that service helps, how it makes things easier for your family. And then you're also going to write how you think it could be made better so that more people are able to use it. So, and then it says again, you should be writing this under the picture. So you've got a picture of the service that you and your family use. You're explaining why that service helps or how that service helps. Then you're saying how that service could be made even better so that more people are able to use it. So an example that they put is a picture of the student at the library. The library helps me get books to read and listen to stories. I think that the library would be better if it had more soft places to sit. So that's an example. They drew a picture of them at the library. They said how it helps. The library helps me get books to read and listen to stories. And then they listed how the library could be even better. It says, I think that the library would be better if it had more soft places to sit. So if it helps you to have a sentence starter, blank, so whatever service, so they put the library, but you can put whatever service that your picture is of, helps me to write what it helps you to do. I think that, write the place again, or the service, write the service again, would be better if blank. So your job is to fill in the blanks. So for example, they put, the library helps me to read and listen to stories. I think that the library would be better if it had more soft places to sit. So you're going to fill in the blanks about the service that you pick. So it's a service that you and your family use. So again, the examples that they listed are grocery store, gas station, barber or stylist, library, church, or store. So those are some examples of services that you could choose that you and your family use, or you could come up with one of your own. So once you've done that, that is all that we have for content today, and that is the last of the work in today's packet. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at 1 o'clock for our Zoom. We'll be talking more about Kevin Henkes, and I'm really excited about that. I'm glad that a lot of you were able to join and we're able to kind of catch up with each other and see each other a couple times a week. So I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. I love you and I miss you. And please let me know if you have any questions at all.